Welcome back into episode 111. So this is going to be door card part 2. In rewinding door card part 1, you saw me learn how to do some spraying of leather. I also was building a lot of the fiberglass side of the door and just basically trying to get the door card back in a shape that we could use. Then obviously I've shown you the interior, done some other little bits, a bit more spraying leather. But now we're going back to the door card, trying to pull it all together and finally wrap up at least one of the door cards. Just to sort of give you a flashback of the state of the armrests, which had taken the bulk of the time on this job. They were terrible. Mine were, they were tan, they'd been sprayed badly black. That had half come off, half was on. Someone had bodged some screws, sort of just drilled screws straight in the side of the armrest, trying to keep it all back on. Where the mountings are shattered, they're in a hell of a state. What I intend to do probably in the next video is show you how I'm going to create my own metal supports for those armrests, but that's going to take me a little while because I need to work out how to bend the material. So in this video, let's just jump on in there and try and push on. It's going to be a hard one. You've noticed I've spaced the videos out a little bit more now. They're about 2 weekly while I'm trying to get on top of the work. It just takes so long. But anyway, let's get in. As ever, thanks for watching. Keep clicking that subscribe button, keep clicking the like button, keep leaving me comments, and let's see if I can get it done. Okay, I'm back spraying the door armrest. So I've got my adapter now, so this is all plugged into my compressor. It may rattle and make some noises in a little while, but let's just give it a go. I've cleaned it, sort of blown off all the dust using this. It's had 2 coats, so this is the third, probably the final coat, but I need to make sure it's a pretty decent coat because I did notice there's a few bits that haven't got much paint on it. Right, I think that is now complete. So let's do the next bits. Okay, that's given everything its first coat. Obviously there's the 2 grab handles. This is the passenger side shelf that goes just below the glove box. This is the glove box door, and these are the 2 sort of compartments in the door cards. The lids, you know, they sort of fold out. That's all I've got to spray at the moment. That's going to dry for 15 minutes and then we'll give it a second coat. So I'm at the last stage now of the spraying. This has had 3 coats. It's looking pretty good. And what I've got in here now, I'm going to check it's working, is the final varnish, lacquer, whatever you call it, protector, fixer. I forget what they call it on the bottle. I've mixed this up. You can choose between gloss or matte, and I've gone for 75% matte and 25% gloss, which is what they recommend for car interiors. So hopefully it's not too shiny. And it should sort of hold it all together. So I'm just going to do the this little armrest first, and just check it all works, and then we'll get on to doing the proper armrest and seeing how everything looks. I'm just worried that there's little bits of grit on it, but I think we're probably pretty good. Let's try. It says in the instructions there's no correct number of coats to do on this. You just do it until you're happy. So I guess I'll probably do 2. 2 sounds a good number. Depends how it covers, I guess. I mean, it really comes out well using the compressor. It will probably start grinding away again in a minute, so I'll have to mute that bit.
There's a couple of dust flecks I can see in it. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it's how the light's catching it. It's okay. It's because it's wet and it's got a little bit different, sort of shinier. Right, that's looking pretty good. I put quite a lot on. Not gonna lie. There's a solid coating on there. I've just got to do around the back. I can do it without banging the camera. Okay, I'm going to go ahead then and give this another coat, and then I'm going to whip through the other parts I've got, get them all coated up, and then they can dry overnight. Right then, it's time for the main event. On to the actual armrest itself. So I've done the two sort of pockets that go there, both sides. And they've come out really well. I'm pleased with the shininess, the sheen. It looks pretty good. So I think we just go for the main armrest. First armrest complete. I must say that is stunning. The only sort of a couple of blemishes in the leather there, two bits there, sort of fingernail cuts or something from someone, but the finish is amazing. It's factory perfect. Look at it. Really impressed, really amazed you can do this stuff at home. If I just zoom out, you can see my setup. It's a couple of boxes on a table. Nothing clever. Obviously I've got a compressor, so I'm compressing the air on. The paint on. Beautifully done though. Really nice. Last two items are the two grab handles, or certainly the last two items for today. I'll do them, you've got a much lower angle. You should be able to see the sheen come off of them. Let's just check we're spraying. And you can just see what it looks like as it dries as well. Hopefully you could see that change, sort of sheen as it was drying. I'll rotate it around, so I want to get into the other side. I'll try and give you a different angle. You probably get a good angle. So side by side, you can see how shiny they are. The shiny one is the one I've not done the coating on yet. Generally, I've been really impressed with how these are sprayed up. This one hasn't come up that well. You can see like that mottled effect on it. So, and when I actually looked over it, I think it's a bit down here somewhere I forgot to spray, maybe there. So I'm going to strip this one back down and sort of go through it again. I've still got the other the whole armrest to do, so there's no major problem. But it's good just to sort of go through the process again. This is the other armrest now, ready to be sprayed. Driver's side. If you look here, there's the repair I did for those two sort of screw holes. There's one there, one there. It's not amazing. I'm not trying to make it amazing. I'm probably not capable of making it amazing, but it hopefully will look passable. Let's spray it and have a look. I can always apply a little bit more filler if it still looks bad, but let's just give it a go. Putting these armrests together, I've just sort of, this I've slid in, and I think I actually bolted this one in. Let me check. Yeah, so this one I've bolted in, but the actual pocket armrest bit is not bolted in. So let's do that now. That should be the pocket in. So let's just turn it over, fold it back together, and I'll turn it around for you. that. There we go. That's looking pretty good.
I'm slowly inching forwards with the bit that I've been worrying about the most, which is actually attaching the material to the door card. And the main problem is where it hits these sort of bends, making it go in there in such a way that it doesn't all crease up. And I've got to test this. This is just a scrap of the material. But when I first put in there, I'll show you. This is how it is now with all these little cuts. I'll show you how it looks if I don't do this. And I'm heating it with a hairdryer, trying to get the material to stretch appropriately. And I'm pretty happy with what I've got going on there. I'll show you what it's like if I don't do that. So whatever I do, I'm going to end up with these sort of bunchings around here. I'm one-handed, so I can't pull it all taut. But you can see that's it pressed in now. And you naturally get this stuff. So heating it with a hairdryer helps sort of stretch it out. And then those relief cuts, just let it, that's it. Just sort of relieve the tension in the material. I don't know if I'm perfectly aligned, but close enough that you can see that that doesn't suffer those problems. When that's pulled tight and glued, that should look pretty good. I've hunted high and low for good material to put behind the sort of speaker grill. This stuff works pretty good. It's super thin, which is what it needs to be, so it doesn't leave any sort of dents or anything in the vinyl that goes across here. Black and opaque, you can't see through it at all. So when we put it all together like that, just pull it a little bit, we're starting to get there. That looks pretty good, I think. Obviously it needs pulling taut, but I think it was quite nice. And I've put these in. These had all popped off. I've got to find the other one. It's around here somewhere. But I bolted those in, very short bolts. So they'll. That's what the actual door insert goes into. Clips into that. But yeah, we're getting there. All I need to do now is decide which way around I'm going to do this. Either I'm going to glue the bottom and pull it over and then glue the top, or I'm going to glue it on the top and pull it over and glue the bottom. I'm trying to debate what to do now. Which way to go with that? Well, I don't think I can delay the inevitable much longer. I'm just going to have to glue this in, aren't I? So I've cut my sort of relief holes around there. That fits in there quite nicely, and I think once I pull it tight either side, top and bottom, to the left and top, that'll fit really nicely. Same around this side, somewhere, probably in here. Where did I put it? Yeah. I've got the door lock thing, what you want to call it. I've cut relief slits in the leather there, vinyl. And that works in there really nicely as well. So I think I'm at the stage I can just glue, and I'm basically going to put contact adhesive all the way along this edge, around there like that, and down this side, and stick it on. So I'm just finishing off, taping up out the way. What you do with this glue is you put it on, and you leave on both surfaces, and then leave it 30 minutes, 25 minutes, and then touch them together, and they will not be moving ever again, I think is the hope, the promise. The glue's had about 20 minutes now, so let's do the daring thing and attach it. Once this goes on, it's not coming off, is it? Let's be honest. Wrong. It needs to be down much more. Okay. First error. It needs to be down much more. More like it is now down here.
as well then. It's not going smoothly, is it, to be honest? Fortunately it's not dry yet, so I can just pull it off. Try it again. I don't know what's going wrong, because it all lined up perfectly when I laid it out dry. I think the glue has made it stretch a bit weirdly, so it's not quite where it should be now. I think that's my problem. Right, let's let that dry and see what happens. Worst case, I'll make another one. Best case, I'll get away with it. It's here I don't like what's going on. There's something, I may get away with it, I'm not going to panic yet, but when I pull it tight it might be okay. We'll just have to wait and see. It's sort of, I don't know, this is the both the glue underneath but also the foam sort of sticking out a little bit. You may not be able to tell from the thing, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. I think when we pull it out it'll be really good. The only place I messed up was down here. With all of that faffing around and it going slightly the wrong place, this has come up and I'm going to end up with a little tiny slither visible from the armrest, but I'll work out what to do with that. Anyway, today what I'm going to do is turn this over, pull it tight, sort of like that, and glue it. I'm going to work my way along. Little lump there. I'm going to try to work my way along there gently and see if I can do it bit by bit rather than all in one go and have a catastrophe again. But pulling it tight seems to work pretty good. I hope I can do it like that. But not bad, I think. I'm fairly happy with that. First I'm going to do a patch, I guess about that wide in the middle there. Let's see how it goes on. I still don't have a good spatula for putting it on. This thing's not very good. It's wooden and thin. I don't really know what I should use, to be honest, but it's what I am using. That's had about 20 minutes now, so let's see if I can make less of a hash of it than last time and just sort of try to pull it over and stick it down. It really is not an easy job. It's kind of trying to stick to itself constantly, like it was there. And I don't really know what I'm doing with it. And I can't see, so I'm kind of blind because it's the other side I'm doing, isn't it, of course. But I'm game. So let's just try and see what comes out. Worst case, I can always hack it off and do it again. I don't mind doing that sort of thing. It's not a big deal. It's just time, isn't it? Something must be wrong because it got bunching. Although, as I noted yesterday, when you put the glue on, it becomes, this vinyl becomes sort of extra stretchy. And I think that is what caused my problem yesterday. That it kind of stretched out. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Let's just get it stuck. But you notice I'm not taking it off again, so it's probably a good sign. I've just reattached that top bit. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm pulling tight. Unfortunately, the door card it does have bows and lumps and things in it, but there's no wrinkles in the material, which is what I was after. So I think that's looking good. It's coming along nicely. All around there is good. What I need to do is glue around here, but I'm going to let the top bit dry first, which is sort of pulled quite taut. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. This is a bit more complicated, this part, because it kind of pulls this way, but also I need to pull it the other way. But let's have a go at
pulling it down here, like that. I don't really like doing any of this. This is not my favourite job out of the whole card. Definitely not my favourite. I need to try and get it. Something like that. I didn't cut any slits in it because the materials, when the glue goes on it, it seems to be fairly stretchy. So I figured I can just pull it and let it stretch. In the ideal world, I think I would have put a bit of glue under here as well, just to nip it in. But when I put the armrest in, I think it presses there anyway. So sort of, you know, like that. So that'll pull this a bit tighter. That is tight anyway, actually. So that's all good. We're slowly getting there, aren't we? Very slowly getting there. I need to resolve all this side of things and the back side of it, the rear side, rear part. But not bad, and I'm not unhappy at the moment. I think it's looking pretty decent. Just finished gluing all this side in there. The last little bit is to do here, which I'm just going to let it all firm up and sort of set for a couple of days, I suppose. Just make sure it's all really good. The only place I'm going to get a tiny crease is here, I think, unless I can get creative with how I pull the material down, which I might be able to. That's looking pretty okay like that. But not bad, I'd say. So that speaker's sort of in there quite good, comes along here really nice. I don't see any problems at all with it. Maybe there's a little tiny line there where there's this like a patch in here. This is where I cut the material too short, and there's a little tiny bit I've had to cut in there just to hide that, but you don't really notice it. Not bad at all, I'm quite happy with that. I need to do sort of final assembly. I can't put the armrest on until I've created those metal supports to go behind it, so that'll be probably next episode. But we're definitely getting there. Right, I think that wraps it up. I'm so pleased with that. That looks, for me, I think that's fantastic. It's way better than I thought they're going to turn out. I didn't add up the amount of time I spent on the door cards. I've only done one of them, by the way. The others in a state where it's not glued. Everything's sprayed up and everything. I just haven't glued on the material, which is the bit that's taken me quite a long time, actually. Maybe I'll get it done in the next couple of days. It just depends how much I can push on with that. The hardest part was making those cuts on the vinyl and sticking it down, because it's a one-way trip, isn't it? You know, and I think I show you. I cut one of them a little bit too short on one side and had to put a patch in. You'll never see it, or unless you go hunting for it, because the armrest covers most of it. But it's still a bit of a mess. But generally, it turned out really well. I've still got to cut the holes where the, you know, that circular dial that puts the lock up and down, where that goes, and where the actual, where you put the door catch. I've got to cut those through, but that should be trivial. I'm not worried about doing those. Really pleased with that. Hopefully that's useful to you guys. You can see that it is possible. That's my first bit of interior ever. Never touched anything material, spraying leather, anything like that. Door card, I've never taken it, well, I took the door card off months ago, but I've never done any of that work, so it is possible. As ever, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments, and I'll see you next time for the armrest supports, hopefully.